So while I was down here brush cutting, I found a big hole, and I thought it was an animal burrow, but there's metal in it, and it looks like it goes back a ways. Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and today we're going to do a little bit of property cleanup work. Probably mostly with the skid steer, but we're going to start by taking the tractor down there. So I've got one corner of my property that I almost never step foot on, and I don't know what to do with it, and I don't know if I've ever really shown you guys this area. And basically, it's almost like a dried up pond. It's got kind of steep banks, and there's a lot of brush and debris down there. There's also some big trees, and it's overgrown, and I just don't want to leave it and let it get out of control. So I'd like to get it cleaned up. So what we're going to do right now is drive the tractor down there, just take a look around, assess the situation, and then we'll probably come up here and get the brush cutter on the skid steer and start doing some cutting. So this area down here that I've never really shown you guys might be my favorite spot on the property, but I'm not sure what to do with it. The reason I like it so much is the trees down here are really old and they have a lot of character to them, and a lot of them have long extending branches, and it was just kind of a fun place that when we bought this property, we would bring the four-wheelers down here and we could ride in and out of it, and it made almost like little ramps that we could jump the four-wheelers off of. But then there was also kind of an obstacle course through the trees. And then right across the fence, you've got this creek bed that's dry half the time. But when that overflows, or in the rainy season, this entire area turns into like a pond, but then it's dry for 9 months out of the year. So just not really sure what to do with it, but I don't want to leave it overgrown on the parts that we can travel on. So what I'm going to do today is try to knock a lot of this brush down, but then I'm going to start selecting which of these trees really need to go and which ones, like this is a majestic tree right here. It's going to stay until it's about ready to fall, I guess, but plus it's 6 foot wide at the base. What would I do with it if I did cut it down? But some of these other trees might be good candidates to remove, might bring the tree puller down here. It's a lot of work to clean it up. So if you look, this entire area I'm standing on was part of this hole. I built all of this up with fill. And then down here is where we still have water standing. And over here is an area I've never touched. Brings up an interesting subtopic. How many of you guys that own acreage have parts of your property that are just wild and you don't touch? Like the woods on top of the hill, I'm never gonna try to like completely control that area. It's wildlife habitat, whatever, but I don't like having this area down here just be overgrown with brush like this. So if you notice that tree that I shredded from the top and then pushed over with the brush cutter, I want to just totally shred that with the cutter. But I have a hard time doing that. Once something's on the ground like that, even a pretty good sized stem like that tree had, or trunk, it's like the blades, no matter what you do with positioning, the blades just won't set that tight to the ground to kind of suck that in and shred it, even though it has no problem cutting through the size of material we're dealing with. A lot of times slopes and distances and sizes of things are hard to see on video, but from where I'm standing down to the low spot where I mowed, I bet I'm 12 feet elevated above that. And if you built dirt up on this side, you could literally turn this into a pond. It would hold water. Right now, it kind of floods across here and across the neighbor's property, and there's like a swampy area over there and a swampy area over here. I thought about trying to make this a pond, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything that ambitious anytime soon. But what I'm thinking about right now is, what if I just wanna mow it a couple times a year and make that a little easier? It's really hard to access this right now. Let's take a look. This is really unusual. As I walked by, I was gonna say, hey guys, what do you think lived in this hole right here? It's a big animal hole, but there's pipe sticking out of it and there's metal down here. See, we've got pipe here and we got something round and metal there. That hole looks like it goes way up. It looks like that hole goes way up in there. What it would appear like to me is someone has buried a bunch of stuff out here, but hard to say. This is very odd. I think people were burying junk down in this area. So I definitely wouldn't want to try to build a pond on top of that. So that probably nixes that idea, just seeing that. Have you ever seen anything like what I just showed there? And so we got these giant trees all have branches that hang down to the ground level. And so I can't drive the tractor under these. So probably what I should do now is come down here and cut some of these branches down where they overhang, or just remove these trees. Like, this is a super cool tree, but look at the way it's leaning. It's just pretty radical. And then we got this one over here. Got these burls on it. People will tell you these are worth money, but I've never found anyone on Marketplace buying them and selling them. I don't know. Sit right here, you can see I can't just mow through here. That all hangs down too low. Anyway, let me finish up what I can get in here, and then we'll go on to the back. We got some cleanup work done, a little here and there. Got a lot more to do, but I had kind of a busy morning, a lot of errands to run. We were in Tennessee all weekend and had some things that piled up on me. But I'm glad to get a little bit of progress made down here. It's really weird that I found that hole that it looks like someone buried a bunch of scrap metal or something down here to raise the level. But I just don't know. And I buried dirt and rocks right where I'm standing. That's why we've got the big drop off. That property came down here and it had this big drop off when we moved here. And we were using this to ramp our four-wheelers in and out right here. And then I started building up the area where I'm standing now to kind of fill this in with just dirt. It's rocky dirt, but it would keep this from holding water and then I could mow it. I tell you what though, that skid steer brush cutter is a pretty sweet piece of equipment. I enjoy the versatility it gives me because when I'm going through an area like this, that's where it has drop-offs and valleys and mud and everything else, I don't have to worry as much about like, what if I can't see into the brush and I'm brush cutting and I drive off into a hole or something and flip or get myself in trouble. That I could still flip that machine over, but I feel so much more secure forcing my way back into a mess that way if I don't know the stretch of ground I'm working on. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.